Good afternoon, guys. Milwaukee here. Today I have one of my axial transmitters on the bench today, and I have been thinking about this idea for a little while now. So you guys would have seen that the wheel on my Yeti just completely fell off in the middle of filming. So I've been thinking, why not try and, so I don't usually take tools with me when I'm out filming. Usually. I should, but I just don't, because where I was super close to my house. But I thought, wouldn't it be cool to figure out a way to put tools into your transmitter? And so that's what I'm going to be showing you how to do today. So first of all, with these axial transmitters, it's a pretty simple setup. It's just a two-piece, it's a two-part mold. Angle you guys up a little more. There you go. It's a two-part mold, and there's a bunch of screw holes on the back there, you can see. The one to make sure to get is the one underneath the antenna. There's one right there. You guys might be able to see that. Yeah, right there. I always forget that one, because when I'm working on it, I don't see it, and I try to pull it apart, and it won't come apart. So, remember, there's one right there. This tutorial is going to be strictly for axial transmitters. I'm not saying that this is going to work with all transmitters, but yeah, so to get started, I'm going to take all the screws out, as I already have. Keep in mind that if you still have the original stickers on the top and on the front, you're going to need to get like an X-Acto knife or something to cut them so that it will allow the two pieces to come apart freely. So once you've done that, go ahead and just kind of, actually, no. Don't start taking it apart yet. Take off the bottom plate, or the bottom battery cover, and then just, there you go, take the batteries out. Just completely remove them. On the axial battery trays, there's a little clip here that you just want to pull the wires out of for later. You can go ahead, set that aside. And same with the battery door, or slide thing. So then you can just go ahead and start pulling apart the transmitter carefully. And that's right, all you need to do is simply unclip the little spot where like all the trims and stuff are, so that it'll just come apart nicely. And there you go, just comes apart like that. Now some of you may be a little bit daunted by all the wires and stuff that you see in here. But don't be. It's a pretty simple setup. What you're gonna do is there's a motherboard in there, and that just simply slides out like that. So now essentially you have three pieces here: the back, the part with the steering wheel on it, and then the motherboard with the trims and stuff on it. So what you need to do is on this board, there are some little white connectors you see there, right there and right there. You're going to want to unplug those. Be sure to note which color is going to which side. The green, they both have red and black wires, but then there's also a signal wire, one of which is green and one of which is brown for the two connectors. So just make note of that when you go to take it apart. Let's see. I'm going to need to actually take off this piece here. I'm actually going to need to take that off to get the other one out. Screwdriver. When you're doing this part, if you find that you need to do it, just be careful not to scratch the motherboard. If you do, you can get into trouble. So just be careful when you're taking it off. All that you're taking off is just a little, at least that I'm taking off, is just the little plastic piece on there. There you go. Falls right off. Grab the screws. Hold on. I'll pick this up and show you guys. So, there's that little piece. Comes right off. Set that aside. And you can easily get to, drag this whole mess up closer. You can get to that little connector. Just unplug it, and now the two pieces are free of each other. On this one, you will see that there's a silver chip piece there. Be careful not to bend that, because it's just kind of like cantilevered off the edge. How can you see that? There you go. You can see it's just kind of cantilevered off, so you want to be careful of that when you're taking it apart. That is the actual transmitter part of this thing. As you can see, the antenna wire is right here, and that goes into the antenna. So with this, you can just set it kind of right back where it was, slip it back into place for now. So then what we're going to do is we're going to cut out this little wall here. There's a little wall, and we're just going to cut it out. Probably need like a Sawzall blade or something like that you can use, and then you can just break it off once you get through. But we're going to take the battery pack, and we're going to put it in there, so that then there's space back here to put tools. You guys will see what I mean more in a little bit, but let's go ahead, head out to the garage, and start cutting this thing off. Alright, so we're out here in the garage, and I'm going to be using this saw. It's a DeWalt handle that you can put a Sawzall blade in. I find this super handy because you can put like a hacksaw type blade in there, and you don't need to. It makes it a lot easier for small things. So we can start with either piece. I'm just going to do this one for now, and kind of start cutting at the plastic until we get all the way down to the bottom. There we go. You want to make sure you don't cut all the way through, but that's good enough for that. And for that cut, we'll do the next one over here. The next one, you don't want to start right. So for this cut, we already made that one. But for this one here, you don't want to start right at the edge. You want to start a little bit down, because there's because it curves in. It's hard to see, but it curves in there. So you want to make sure you have a nice flush cut there. And about there looks good. Come on. Sorry if I'm blocking the camera there, but yeah. Alright, there we go. That's good enough for that one. So as you can see, where are we? There we go. I've made the two cuts right there, so that piece is loose. And then you can just break it out with your hand. There we go, just like that. Came right out. Now we have an open compartment. There we go. So now we have that nice open compartment in there. Get this motherboard back in there. We should be able to put the battery in there. That should be enough space. Let's see. I guess I'll just do this one here while I'm at it. Okay, this is going to be hard because I'm not a lefty. Okay. You know, I'm just going to do this one off camera, so I will meet you back in my room once I've gotten these cut out. So, now that I've cut out the walls on the transmitter, we can now go back and assemble it. I've already test assembled it, make sure that it actually fits, and I did any trimming and stuff that I needed to. You're going to need to, when you cut out the walls in there, you're going to have to take a needle nose pliers and just start breaking off the plastic to get it down flush. Because it ended up about that high, like up out there. So I had to just take a needle nose pliers and just start ripping out the plastic to ensure that the batteries would fit in there. So let's see, first off, I guess we're going to put the whatever this thing is, the control thingy-mabobber, I don't know, back on the motherboard. Just via the 3 screws that we took out. And it pretty much seats itself right where it belongs because of all the LEDs and stuff in there. Put the 3 screws in. Also, if you do want more space, like if you, I thought that, or I had the idea that if you wanted to put like a screwdriver set in your transmitter as well, you could cut out the wall, I'll show you in a minute, that goes up into like the handle, and then you could figure out how to get some screwdrivers in there. I'll show you guys in a minute here. There we go. So if you did want more space, you can cut out this wall here, and then you can put screwdrivers up in there, which I don't think I'm going to do today, but I may do that in the future if I want to include a set of screwdrivers with my controller. Alright, so now that's screwed on, you can go ahead, slip it. There should be some little guide slots, and you can use the switch in the back as well. There we go, just slides right into place. And everything pretty much reseats itself where it belongs because of just the way it's manufactured and stuff. It just kind of, it goes where it needs to go, essentially, is what I'm trying to say. So, wherever you took note of what colors went where, find that. Green on mine will go on the right. Sorry, it's kind of hard to show this part because I don't want to be yanking wires out everywhere and stuff, so there we go. And then, now that those are plugged in, on this piece down at the base, there's a little thing here that you want to take the red JST plug and just slip that right in there. Well, I was going to say, there we go, like so. And then you can take it, flip it this way so that the JST doesn't fall out. And then somehow get this all put back together. I'm not going to give any, well, I don't know, I don't have any tips that are super great for this. It's really just kind of like, figure it out. Okay, there we go, that side's in. And then we can put this side on. There. Alright, just like that. You can clip this piece, you can clip the door in, just so it doesn't fall apart. That is handy as you're putting it back together. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and grab the screws and screw it all in. Taking apart a transmitter may seem a little daunting, but as long as you pay attention to how it came apart, and you don't mess with the steering wheel, you're usually okay. Because with the steering, there's a lot of springs, and I've had my fair share of experience with springs, and I know that they're annoying. Because one time, my airsoft gun barrel, it kept on getting jammed, right? So I take it apart, and when I take it apart, springs go flying everywhere, pieces fall on the floor, screws go everywhere, and so I just ended up throwing it away. Because it just, like, decided to self-destruct on me. So, springs, don't usually mess with them with two-piece moldings. That's usually not a fun one. So, I'll go ahead and finish screwing these up and put the battery pack in. Alright, got it all screwed back together. When you do screw it back together, don't put those two in super tight just yet, because you may need to pry it apart just a little bit to get the batteries in. So when you're doing the batteries, as you can see, the lead is coming out on one side. You want to make sure you put that towards the JST connector. Right there. So for mine, put it in like this, slip it in, make it go that way. So this is where you need to keep it loose so that you can kind of pry it open and slide it right back just like that. And then your power is there. Stick it in the connector. Now you can tighten the screws back up. And there you go. Yeah. There you go. Got your batteries up front in the controller. Now you have space in the back to put stuff if you would like. I mean, you probably need to do stuff to this because it's kind of tight in there right now. But, yeah, I'll figure it out later. Well, I don't know, what the heck, I'll do it now. Like, the one thing that I always need is a cross wrench with my Yeti. So, that's going to be the first thing that I put in here. Come on. No. Out, please. So, obviously, it's not going to be super easy to take it out and replace the batteries. But, you don't usually do that while you're out on the trail anyways. So, yeah, seems like it'll be pretty good. I'm just trying to work it out. I'll do that more off camera, but I hope you guys have enjoyed this tutorial. It was definitely a fun mod to do. Now you have space in your controller to put stuff, put tools. If you need some cash somewhere or whatever, you can do that. Grab a cross wrench, just put it in there, and the battery door closes up just fine as well. It kind of rattles, but I mean, who cares? It'll be good for when you actually need it. So hope you guys have enjoyed this tutorial. I have certainly enjoyed making it. It's been a fun mod to do. Fairly quick, but yeah, hope you guys have enjoyed. Please leave a like, subscribe, comment down below. Be sure to click the bell up near the subscribe button. Nope, over there, right there. Be sure to click that bell to get all notifications, or to get notified of all the videos that come out. So, see you guys in the next video.